In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about managed payments and some important changes that you need to know about that's coming very soon. So without any further ado, let's go. Welcome back to the channel. My name is John from Flippin Ain't Easy, and today I'm going to talk to you about managed payments. And I know this is sort of a hot topic for many of you out there. There's a lot of questions surrounding managed payments, and hopefully what I've found out through the email that eBay has recently sent, and actually I waited on hold about an hour and a half to speak to a managed payments rep. And so hopefully that information will help clear things up for you and help you understand what's going to happen here in the next couple months with managed payments. Now, before I begin, let me ask you to please hit that like button. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you are subscribed and you enjoy this content and want to be notified of when I make another video, please hit that notification bell. I'd certainly appreciate that. Now, what I found out here, and this is all through the correspondence, many of you, including myself, received an email from eBay, I believe it was yesterday, and this email states that in late March, there's no specific date given, and usually that means that it gives eBay a little bit of wiggle room, not committing to a date. As we know, a lot of things with managed payments have been pushed back over time because they've pretty much, in my opinion, bitten off a little bit more they can chew with this program, even though I can tell you I haven't had any major complaints, but it has been a series of delays since they enrolled this back in 2019. Ever since last summer in 2020, when many of you were initially enrolled in managed payments, our final value fees and promoted listing fees were no longer being billed to us at the end of the month on our invoice. And you know, it's been a good transition for me not having to see that at the end of the month. I think many people have also relayed, at least in my conversations, that they appreciate the fact that they don't have to worry at the end of the month of having a large bill that they have to deal with. Now, with that being said, we still are accumulating our store fees, and any labels that we purchase through eBay for FedEx and UPS are also billed at the end of the month and not sort of as we go. Now, that's where these changes are going to come in. So essentially what's happening is the end of March, eBay is pretty much going to wipe out invoices. Now, the clarification I received when I spoke to the rep on the phone is that with invoices, you will be invoiced for your eBay store fees, and that's it. Nothing else is going to be slapped on that invoice at the end of the month. That's what you're going to be paying at the end of the month. So this idea that invoices are going away entirely is actually incorrect. You will receive an invoice for your eBay store subscription fees that you pay monthly. Now, for those other fees, for instance, if you have a fees on a refund, you know, if they have to collect from claims, disputes, or anything like that, it would come out of your available balance or your earnings. Now, if you do not have any free funds in your available balance, what happens is, and this is what the rep told me in managed payments today, is that there's that 14-day period where they're waiting for you to actually earn more money, where they can grab that money that is owed to them, and that will be deducted before it is placed into your available funds. If your earnings are not enough to cover that, then what's going to happen is they're going to collect that money using the payment that you have on file. Like, for instance, I have a credit card on file, I have my PayPal account on file, and then of course we all have our checking account on file. So if you do not want to be surprised with a debit onto your checking account, I would recommend that you have some other form of payment, like a credit card, where you can have it charge the credit card as the primary funding source rather than just having your checking account in there. And for some, if you're running a low balance on that checking account and eBay comes after you for an unexpected $100 refund and you don't have it, well, it's going to be a problem for you if you have to pay your bank an overcharge fee or any kind of fee that they want to tack on, like banks like to do. And so you need to keep that in mind. If you haven't put an alternative form like a credit card, that $100 charge will be put on your credit card, but usually you have that grace period to pay it back without interest, and you're not going to get hit with an unexpected fee. The biggest problem that I hear from many people is that they have to give their checking account, and that just doesn't sit well with people. If you're dealing with just one checking account and you're running low on funds as it is, you don't want to have that sort of held over your head with an unexpected return. And what eBay has told me is that they're not going to just jump in and automatically ding your accounts if there's an overage that you owe now. What they're going to do is they're going to wait. According to their verbiage, is actually up to 14 days. They don't have to wait 14 days. And I don't know what the criteria is and why they would wait 14 days for some and maybe not as long for others. But they're really trying to allow you to maybe accumulate more funds in your account so that they don't have to do this and take this route. So if you sell quite a bit of merchandise on eBay, this really won't be that big of a deal because eventually you'll have enough funds to cover, unless you're talking about a big and large chargeback or refund of a large priced item, and then maybe you might have some issues there. So again, this is going to happen sometime in March, late March, and that means that at some point you're going to no longer pay for invoices, only for your store subscription fee. So one thing you have to keep in mind as well, if you do like I do and purchase FedEx and UPS labels utilizing your discount through eBay, and you have to know that you're not charged for those labels right away. In fact, you're not charged for those labels until FedEx and UPS reports what those charges actually are. And I have a video, I'll put that video right here, and it's talking about how FedEx overcharges you for your labels. Well, that's not done immediately. That's done after they calculate your package using their dim weight system, and if you don't have your package in line with their dim weight system, you're going to be charged a different amount. Well, that amount, whether it's the same amount or whether it's a higher amount that they're charging you, that's going to be charged at a later time, and that's going to come out of your existing balance at eBay, and it's not going to be billed to you like it currently is on your invoice. And so for some, that's a good thing. I don't mind it. I just, to me, it's one of those things where I want to make sure that there is some type of reporting that eBay does. There's no mention in this what type of reporting, because it's nice to be able to look at your invoices and to review the charges that you've accumulated over the last month. I'm good with that, this change, as long as we still have the ability to download that invoice so we can see exactly what we're being charged for, because these blind charges taking money out of our account, and there's no easy way for us to track that. We're trying to work. We're trying to list items on eBay. We're trying to run our business. And while accounting is a part of that business, if you make that procedure cumbersome, where we have to search for the data rather than having it on a convenient invoice, that's, for me, is going to be a big problem with this particular change. So continue to pay your invoices. I'm sure that most of you have a form of payment on file anyway that's normally debited when your invoice is due. And so continue to pay that. However, just know you're responsible for paying a monthly invoice, and if you have a store, that's still going to be a thing. You're still going to have an invoice for that. Now, one thing of note that I thought was sort of funny that eBay had mentioned in that email is that they accept a wide range of payment types, and they want you as sellers to refrain from asking the buyer to use a specific payment type, like PayPal, for instance. I assume that PayPal is probably a little bit faster than, say, accepting a credit card, assuming that the buyer is using existing funds within their PayPal account. It's really no faster for them to use PayPal if they're using the credit card or bank account that's on file. And eBay just wants you to refrain from asking them to use PayPal. I think maybe that's because some people have older templates that they may use in their listings that still may reference PayPal. And you just might want to go in and update your listings to maybe take that out. So what do you guys think? Please comment down below what your thoughts are of this change. We all need to know that eBay is trying to modernize their payment system. You know, look at Amazon. They don't even pay you out for 2 weeks until after you make that sale. And the first sale you make, it's actually a little bit longer than that until you get into kind of a 2-week groove. And eBay has not gone to that extreme yet. So for any of you who've sold on Amazon know what I'm talking about. You know, Mercari, Poshmark, you don't even get access to that money until that buyer states that they've received the item and they've responded to the email. If they don't even reply, it's like another 2 or 3 days after they've received the item before Poshmark or Mercari just says, you know, we'll go ahead and give you your money. So you're dealing with, you know, potentially a week to 2 weeks in that scenario. And eBay has not yet gone to that extreme. So it's not all that bad. I mean, I'm trying to paint a good picture for you guys. I don't want this to be a thing where you guys just kind of say, that's it, I'm done selling. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. If you're running things right, you're selling an honest product, you're going to get paid. You don't have to worry about, you know, these crazy returns. They happen, and your money's automatically frozen until that return is resolved for that particular amount. That stinks. I know PayPal used to not do that, but this is the world that we live in right now. And while I long for those days where we had PayPal, and I wish we could go back to it, it's not happening, and things aren't getting any more seller friendly at all. In fact, it's kind of the opposite, because eBay has strived for the longest time to be a lot like Amazon, even though they're not Amazon and they're not Mercari and they're not Poshmark, but yet they're trying to be in line with a lot of the platforms that these other people are used to dealing with. And we just have to get used to that as sellers. Of course, you don't have to get used to that. You can always choose not to sell on this platform. But like I've said in many cases before this is eBay's game. It's their rules. And we have a choice if we want to play it or not. And until there comes a time where there's a different platform other than eBay that offers the same level of traffic, not as many restrictions as, say, Amazon, more seller friendly than we're experiencing right now. Until that platform comes along, I'm here at eBay. And while I'm cross-listing on other sites as well, and I'm sure many of you are, if we want to continue selling on this platform, then we have to follow their rules. And so that's a personal choice for each one of you. And it's unfortunate that changes like this may make you want to consider not selling on this platform. However, you know, a lot of things that are out of our control, sometimes we just have to roll with the punches and just do the best we can and work within the rules that we're given. So guys, once again, if you like the content of this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell icon. And just do me a favor here, guys. I want you to keep listing. I want you to keep making those sales. And I want you to know that flipping ain't easy. And we're going to see you here in a few days. Have a great rest of your week.